Warning! Warning! Spoiler alert! The following video will contain spoilers from the new motion picture Jigsaw. Also, this video will contain language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. If any of these affect you or offend you in any way, stop watching now. Hey guys, Dave here, and I am coming to you from a parking lot of my local shopping and movie facility. Checking out my long sleeve Spider-Man shirt. I loved it because it reminded me of Spider-Man 2099. I know it's not 2099, but it reminds me of that kind of vibe, and I kind of just dig it. So I thought, who better to wear a shirt like Spider-Man, a very clever guy who uses everything he can to affect justice onto those, to go see Jigsaw. What the heck, right? So, how do I feel about Jigsaw? Well, it's the only horror movie I've seen this year in the theaters around Halloween, so that says something. But you know how there wasn't a lot of hype for this movie? You know, it was just kind of there, and they're kind of like, yeah, let's see if we can revive Jigsaw. Well, there's a fucking reason for that. Now, it gives us a lot of the same stuff that we're used to. You know, the people assembled that are less than good, the death traps, you know, the puzzles they got to try to figure out. See, I like that because there's this part of me that loves that visceral, like, anti-hero kind of dark justice vengeance kind of guy. And Jigsaw crosses that line between anti-hero and supervillain, in my opinion. And in the best way possible, they've managed to take that and run with it. I mean, I loved the first movie. The second one, not bad. Third one, okay. And then if you notice, there were just a lot of diminishing returns until the final Saw movie, where it was in 3D. And, you know, at that point, they just figured they'd wrap the whole damn thing. Yeah. At that point, I was kind of like the Resident Evil series. At that point, I was just happy to see the fucking thing die, to get it out of its misery. I liked it for what it was, but now it's just kind of droning on. So they're trying to bring it back. Can they do it without someone like Tobin Bell or Shawnee Smith? And like I said, this video's got some spoilers for you, because they do something in a pretty surprising way that, yes, we get to see Tobin Bell revive his role as John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. And you're sitting there wondering, how the fuck did this happen? It's not possible. We saw the autopsy. We know he died. How is this happening? And then we get the reveal. Well, you know how they keep on saying that Jigsaw lives on in his followers and stuff like that, and people are fascinated? Well, this is years later, and apparently there are entire websites and stuff dedicated to John Kramer and carrying on his tradition. So it's possible that if done right, the Legend of Jigsaw could go on forever. It's a perfect new horror movie tradition, and at least in that regard. But how much can they milk it for? And I gotta admit, I mean, I saw it. It was a decent horror movie. I mean, there's plenty of gore, good story, nice little mystery there. You know, it stimulated me, but the fucked up thing was, when you keep on trying to put the pieces together, which is kind of fitting for a Jigsaw, you try to put the pieces together, and what happens? Well, they mind fuck you with the same trick they did in Saw 2. Yeah, it's time perspective. We got two different stories that look like they're happening almost simultaneously. They ain't. There's actually a 10-year divide, which is how we get to have John Kramer show up doing his thing before he'd actually died. So, then in that regard, it's kind of brilliant, but it's the same kind of like feeling like you get from the movie Sucker Punch. I mean, they tell you that you're going to get sucker punched, and it's a surprise when you do. So, is that really on you, or just... I get sucked up in the storytelling. I know that there are some masterful people that studied every Saw movie, that watched them religiously before going to see this fucking movie to see if it holds up. And it's not bad, and it's just another way they started doing it. And I can see them cranking out one of these every year just as a tradition. But at this point, that's all it is. It's like carving jack-o'-lanterns, watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, you know, putting on horror movie marathons. and a fresh new movie for Saw coming out around Halloween time. Okay. I mean, it was good. It was okay, but it just didn't leave me with that satisfied feeling. It's just found a new creative way to carry on through new people picking up the pieces of John Kramer's legacy and making it work. And in that regard, if you're a fan of the Saw movie series, you're probably going to see this regardless. But at this point, when does it become a chore? Or when does it become a tradition just because of a tradition? Like, that's what it feels like. I want to see how it was. And it's the same old Saw. I mean, SOS, same old Saw, which can be good for some people. For others, it's become a little too cliche, a little too mundane. You eventually know how to respect if you know to look for the fucking twist. And I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why we didn't really get a lot of advertisement for this thing, except maybe for the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights thing, that entire haunted house section was dedicated to Saw. It was like subliminal. It was trying to put it out there, but it's not really. I mean, this weekend, a lot of my horror fans are going to Spooky Empire in Orlando. I hope they have fun. But it just, like I said, if you're a fan of the Saw series, you're probably going to like this movie. But at this point, it's hard for me to tell. The first Saw movie was still one of the best in my opinion. The others tried to fill in those gaps, and like I said, we got a dose of Saw and Saw 2 in here because we know what happens, we know what's going on. But then they hit you with that twist. You know that there was a twist. Could you see it coming? Check it out yourself. So it's really kind of interesting to see, and I don't know. It's more like the movie is a good study in psychology of the horror movie fan rather than a decent movie in itself. It's become something that I can see people going to Jigsaw because they want to try to get that feeling again. And there might be moments where you start to feel a little bit of it, but I don't know. It was just there for me, you know? I wish there was more. I do. So, am I disappointed? I kind of am, but like I said, it gave me that feeling that Saw movies give me. I was hoping for more, and I'm sure we're going to get more. And that attempt to try to fill that void, I think we're going to get more quantity than quality, because now they've just found the perfect cookie-cutter way to crank out more Saw movies every year. And until you get sick and tired of them and just say, okay, I'm not spending my money on this anymore, they're just going to keep doing it. So that's my feeling, which really sucks because, like I said, I like the Saw movie series, and this was okay, but I don't like leaving a movie feeling like they played me, that they got my hopes up just to bring it down. And that's the part that really bites the most. So much like a rusty saw blade, it cuts, but after the first cut, it just becomes repetitive and you just become fearful of the first cut again. It's not the same. So, yeah, check it out. I hope you guys enjoy it more than I do, because I just, like I said, I wanted to go in and feel it. I didn't get my hopes up, but I want to recapture that feeling of the first couple movies, you know? So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go grocery shopping, and I'm going to put my headphones in and listen to the song Hello Zep. You might know it as the Saw theme, you know? Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, which they actually have like another version of it coming up at the top of the movie, so it's kind of cool, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the same feel, but we do eventually get to hear part of that song again near the end, right when the twist happens, like it always does. So, like I said, if you're ready for more of the same, go check out Jigsaw. All right, guys, what did you guys think of it? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around, and I will catch up with you later. Peace.